Today I was reminded about a message that I put right here on TikTok about a year ago when I first started here on TikTok. And that was back in the day when we didn't have 3 minutes. Now we have 3 minutes, and I can expand on that a little bit. I feel like now is the best time to rehydrate that message. And if you are a homeowner, this message might not be for you, but you might want to pass this on to someone you love. And the message that I was talking about a year ago was dedicated to people of color, immigrants, and women. And I said specifically that if you are not a homeowner, you are in the best position to create generational wealth, and that the first investment should never be a home. And I still live by that principle today. Anytime there are people in my arena, anytime there are people in my circle, anytime there are people near me, and even in my training that I'm going to be doing next week, that do not own a home, I always let them know that you are doing the right thing. Marginalized communities have this way of being perpetually taught nonstop. Don't rent. You should own your own. And so we're always in this hunt for getting all of these houses that really we can't afford. And it's a shame. And the reason is because most people who are in this hurry to buy a house usually are buying the house that they could afford with the salary that they're working for right now, and in a neighborhood that will not appreciate to the level of other communities. Instead, if you want to start building generational wealth and start investing in yourself, the first home you should buy is a multifamily property with the same criteria that it's going to take you to buy a single family home. You could buy a 2 to 4 unit property and live in one side and have the other tenants pay the rent on the other 2 or 3 sides with how many ever units you buy. I understand that that might not be your ideal situation, but when we are talking about marginalized communities, and again, I know that some of y'all are going to come for me no matter which way I take it, but marginalized communities also are not paid on the dollar the same way that our other communities are paid. And in order for you to qualify for the house of your dream, the granite countertop and the waterfall in the background and the marble floor, you've got to be able to raise your income. And for some of you, that is next to impossible. Because if you want to qualify for a mortgage, and I'm not a mortgage broker, so I can't tell you, but if you want to qualify for a mortgage, you can't switch your job. But you can add income. And instead of doing independent contracting side gigs like Uber Eats and DoorDash, you can simply invest in a multifamily property and live in it for 1 year. Do you know how that will exponentially make you wealthier right this freaking minute? And the reason when I said it then that this message is more pronounced now is because inflation is upon us. So that means your money will grow faster. So take my small advice. Don't fall for the okie doke that our parents used to tell us that don't pay rent. That worked in their generation. But today, that's not necessarily the truth. If you're renting, the best thing you can do is try to buy a multifamily property. Live in it for a year. You won't believe how much money you will actually save by having other people pay your rent. And then maybe 2 or 3 of those later, buy the home of your dreams. Don't